Good evening, everyone. This is a meeting of the Zoning Board of Appeals on December 11th, 2025. It's the first of three hearings that we will have tonight. The first one being 123 Valentine Road. And joining me this evening are the two other members of the Board of Appeals, Chris Hart and Nick Gray. And I see that in attendance we have the first applicant, Mike Crowell, and his counsel, Marion McEttrick. Um,
Evening.
The
Evening.
properties are located at 123 Valentine Road, and in the file, we have a denial letter dated August 19th, 2025. We have a letter from Ms. McEttrick dated October 28th, 2025. We have a plan of the property dated in July 2025. A progress set of prints from Rockwood Design dated June 17th. 2025. We have a copy of the deed to Mr. Crowell dated April 5th, 2024. A plan of the property as originally laid out in 1948. The assessor's map, the property record card, and letters of support from three of the neighbors. And the relief requested is variance from the side yard setback requirements and from the front yard requirements and sections 275, section 10.2D and 10.3C. And so that's the outline of what we are addressing this evening. Marion, did you want to introduce your client or do
Yes,
you?
I'm Mary McKettrick. I'm here to represent Mike Crowell or Crowell. I'm not sure
Pearl.
what the right pronunciation is, since as usual, we only meet online.
Yeah.
But we have been in touch and communication for a number of months about this application, done some tweaking, and Mike has worked with his architect on his plans. But pretty much from the beginning, it was pretty clear that some kind of zoning relief would be needed, because what he is trying to do is to create a reasonably large size garage in order to accommodate some of his cars off the street and inside a garage, but also he wanted to have an area where he could have a workspace. And the whole thing that he has been trying to work with his architect to design a garage that would be attractive looking and that would reflect the architecture of the house, because his proposal is to place this garage along the side of the lot, which is fairly close to Blue Hill Ave. It's too close by our zoning bylaws and too close to the front. The required setbacks are quite substantial for the front for an accessory structure. So, this design that you're looking at tonight is the final product, the best that he could come up with after working with the building department. So I'd like to go ahead and give you some background, explain what the property is like, and why this garage is situated where it is. First of all, I live about 3 blocks away, so I'm very familiar with this location. He is at the corner, this house, the applicant's house is at the corner of Valentine Road and Blue Hill Avenue. So you're probably all familiar with Blue Hill
Mm.
Avenue. It's an extremely busy commuter route. There's a load of traffic all of the time, but especially during commuter hours, which are extensive. And so even now, there's a stockade fence along the Blue Hill Ave side of this property just to shield the yard a little bit. Um, as you know, corner lots have a little bit more setback requirements than an ordinary lot. And we would be more concerned about that if this were a corner lot in the middle of a residential neighborhood. But one side of this lot is Blue Hill Ave. The other side at the front is Valentine Road. And the rest of the yard for this property, which has some nice trees in it, it's very attractive. He's done some improvements to the house, faces Valentine Road and the neighbors on Valentine Road. So the location has been chosen for a number of reasons, but one is that the garage will shield the residential property from Blue Hill Ave and from some of the traffic and noise and fumes and everything from Blue Hill Ave. But also by locating the garage on this side, the applicant is not destroying any of his yard space, his attractive yard space. He's not sort of, destroying the appearance of the property for his neighbors. So while ordinarily this is a pretty large garage, because of where it's situated along Blue Hill Ave, it will have less impact on the surrounding neighbors on Blue Hill on Valentine Road. And he has talked to his neighbors, explained his plans, and he did obtain support letters from 117 Valentine, 120 Valentine, and also from 385 Blue Hill Avenue. So the neighbors don't have not expressed objections to these plans. Uh, so I think there's a number of benefits to doing this in addition to shielding the property from Blue Hill Avenue. The garage is large enough to provide parking for two or all three of the applicant's cars if he doesn't choose to, have be using his sort of workshop space that he wants to have. And that means that the cars can be off the street, and that they can be garaged a lot of the time. So there's not as much car
Mm.
view to be looking at all the time. And that's a benefit to the neighborhood. It's also very important or very nice to keep cars off the street. So this is all designed to be a benefit to basically the Valentine Road neighborhood. There are some people who park on Blue Hill Ave, but the traffic is so bad there that you don't see a lot of parking along Blue Hill Ave. But certainly this also prevents or makes it less likely that the applicant would have to park there. Um, so what we're talking about here, we have two variance applications, or the application is for two
Mm.
forms of relief. Um, the garage, as an accessory structure, will be located 9.5 feet from Blue Hill Avenue. Normally, this is a corner lot. It should be located 25 feet. And then it will be located 10.8 feet from Valentine Road. The required setback for an accessory structure is 40 feet. I'm not even sure you could go 40 feet back and have a garage structure, but in any case,
Mm.
the garage needs to be closer to the front because the driveway is on Valentine Road, and the plan is to have cars go in and turn into the garage to the left and be out of the way of the house and not obstructing the house. Um, if you look at the design that's been provided by the architect, you will see that the garage is designed with windows on all sides except the side where the doors are. And the garage also has a roof peak. It has architectural features that are residential type features. And they also are similar to some of the features in the architecture of the house. That's intentional. Again, that's to make this look less like just a square, unattractive accessory structure. It's supposed to look like it could be part of the house. It's not going to be attached, but it will not be detrimental in terms of the type of view that you will have from Blue Hill Ave or even from Valentine Road. Um, so I don't know if that's my quick summary of what the application's all about. If the applicant wants to add more detail or explain, I mean, I'm sure the board would
Mm.
be willing to listen to that.
Yeah, I think you've already summarized everything quite well, but I'll just in my own words. The location serves two primary goals. First, to block the Blue Hill traffic noise, and to keep the building as far away from my abutting neighbors as I possibly can. One other slight benefit is as Marion said, it's a half acre lot. I actually have 17 trees on my half acre lot. And I like my 17 trees. In the end, this plan of the major full-grown trees, I only have to take down two of them, which is a benefit of this particular location. And as Marion said, I work closely with Phil Baker of Rockwood Design. It's important for me to make the building look like it belongs next to the house that's a part of that, almost as if they were built concurrently, built at the same time. It steals several architectural details from the house, and at this point, my biggest concern is, can we find the similar siding?
Mm.
So
Chris
that's
or Nick, do you have any questions?
No, I don't
I,
think.
I
Oh, sorry. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead. No, Nick,
You
go
want me to
ahead.
go or not?
No,
I
go
don't
ahead.
I don't think I have any questions. I mean, I would just note that, I mean, it's a pretty big we're we're granting relief that's large for the setbacks. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
a higher. I'm trying to get the words out. A higher percentage of
Mhm.
intrusion or whatever the phrase is than normal. But this is more of a statement than a question. But I
Yeah.
think that given the unique location of this lot on this, you know, insanely busy road, and the unique qualities that you've got in your lot with the placement of the trees. I think I remember this from at some other point in reading. With you would have to, if you moved it to the another part of your lot. I guess this is the question. If you moved it, say, to the other side of the house, is that going to take out some of the trees?
It would
Possibly.
take out yeah, it would absolutely take out different trees.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, regardless. Yeah, I mean, all kinds of other different issues come out were I to move it. Other trees would have to be taken down. This when I consider the trees, um,
Yeah.
yeah, if I moved it, if facing the house, if you moved it immediately to the other side of the house, like the best tree would have to go, which
Yeah.
is I don't want to do.
Yeah, I don't have any more questions. I think I understand what you're trying to do and what Marion's arguments are. Thank you.
Thank
I
you.
do have one question. Am I right? There's fencing around the house.
Yeah,
I,
anything facing the road is I think Marion, you said stockade fencing. And then on the abutting the neighbors, it's coated chain link.
see. And I'm sorry if I missed this, but in building the structure, is any of that fencing going to have to be taken down?
No.
Okay, so it'll be within the fencing.
Yes.
Mm. Okay.
So the fencing is staying up
Yes.
on Blue Hill. And I just had a question. You have right, the plot plan that we got shows a drive on the right-hand side of the house. Is that staying?
It's funny you asked that. The when before I bought the house, it was probably 10 or 15 years ago, when the house was renovated, the driveway was moved. Again, facing the house, it was moved to the right about 30 feet. Um, I would intend, and I know
Mhm.
it's a different board and a different process to do it,
Yeah,
to move it back where it originally was.
yeah. Because the
Frankly,
property record card shows it on the left-hand side. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Frankly, if I had my choice, I never would have. I bought it this way, but I never would have
Yeah.
put the driveway there in the first place. It's tough to see cars coming in and out. So this actually, um, you know, if the driveway is moved back to where it was originally, it fits the house
Hmm.
better and also opens up more yard space.
Yeah.
If I may, Madam Chair, that's one follow up.
Yeah.
And this might be more along the lines of a statement. So I have a garage with two bays. And part of it I use as a makeshift gym. Don't judge whether it works. Um, I will say that it does make it less likely I'm going to use the other bay. And so one of the things that I wonder about is whether that middle bay is actually, or I think it's the middle bay that we're
Yeah.
talking about, is actually going to be used for a car or not. So if what we're realistically talking about is really just the garage is going to house one car as a practical matter.
It has 3 bays.
Right. And one bay is going to
Yeah.
be used for the workshop,
Yeah.
and one bay for a car, and then one bay for, let's call it mixed use.
What do you think, Mike? How do you expect to use it?
It's funny. It's funny how you say that because I certainly can't predict the future. The intent is the middle bay would, if I need to put the car in there, put the car in there. If I am when Marion says a workshop, I'll be more specific, a wood shop.
That's kind of what I had in mind. Yeah.
Yeah. And so if I'm most of the large power tools like a table saw, planer, that sort of thing will live on that third bay. But if there's, if I'm working on a big project, it may intrude into the middle bay. But if I'm not, then stuff will be moved over and have room for the car.
Okay.
So the middle bay is kind of a multifunctional space, if you will, as I have it in my head.
Okay. So in other words, like the only reason this matters is because
Yeah.
of the, and I don't know that it matters that much, but is because one of the apparent features of this is that fewer cars will be out and about. And if it's easy enough, if you can envision, if it's easy enough to sort of move a big project, it's a snow day, you put in the second car, that makes
100%.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I have nothing further.
Thank you. Marion, anything else?
No, I think that wraps it up. Thank you.
So, I think we can have a vote to close the hearing.
I'll move.
Okay.
Second. All in favor?
All right. This is to close. Yeah.
Yes, to close the hearing.
Yeah.
Okay, and now we can discuss the merits of this application. As you know, it's a pre-existing non-conforming house, built in 1948 or something like that. We have to, if we proceed to grant the variance, we have to make sure that we've confirmed that it's not more deleterious to the neighborhood. And that the zoning relief, is appropriate. Thoughts, anybody?
Well, I mean, I'll just go with what I was saying before we're starting to wind up for before, which is that I think, if we're looking at a variance here. So some of the elements we need to consider are like, how is this property uniquely situated compared to other properties in the neighborhood? Well, it's on a corner, right? I mean, I live on a corner. That definitely is, and it's a corner of one incredibly busy, noisy, harsh street, and Valentine Road, which is not super busy, but is a pretty wide. It's a significant road. So my point is that given the nature of the density of the traffic on this particular on the side streets. And the configuration and shape of the lot, I can see that placing the garage in this location and to help screen the road noise, it's also not directly abutting another house, right? The most affected properties are where the closest to what that side lot line in this case are on the other side of the street, as opposed to if it was in the middle of Valentine, right, would be right there. So I think that helps distinguish this piece of property from other pieces of property similarly situated within the block. I think, I mean, I like the project. I think given the situation of this particular lot, that the placement of granting this relief will provide a way to improve the property in a way that doesn't adversely affect the other neighbors. And in fact, I think if I'm looking at the map, the three abutting neighbors, most directly abutters, this one on the right side of the house facing it, the property directly behind, and the property across Valentine Road have all assented, right? The three letters, you could write those three letters came from. So in light of those factors, I'd be at this moment, without hearing the rest of you guys talk, inclined to grant the relief requested.
Yeah, Chris?
I subscribe to all of that. I mean, I think the fact there's no objection that's across the street. I appreciate the fact that Mr. Kroll's made efforts to make it architecturally conforming with the house. I think are all all that gives me comfort. I would vote in favor.
And I agree with the gentleman on the board. It's a larger garage than I. So as a person who doesn't have one at all, three bays seems enormous to me. But I also have a much smaller lot. But I appreciate the fact that you're protecting the landscape in the rest of the lot, and that would be probably more of a concern to the neighbors on Valentine if you came in and cut down a whole bunch of trees across from their houses. Could see people might not be very excited about that. So yeah, I'm in favor of granting the relief that's been requested. May I have a motion to that effect?
Move.
Second.
Okay.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You have your relief, Mr. Crowell.
Thank you very much.
Do you
And
want me to draft a
that
decision?
would be fabulous because
If
that was
you
my
want to,
next
Mary,
question.
I don't think you're going to get much argument from anyone on this panel. We might
I'll try to
change
do it quickly so you get
change
it.
a comma or something just for the sake,
Just to say you looked
just
at
to
it.
say, we made some. Yes, that would be. Thank you.
No, I know you review the decisions, and please do. Believe me,
No,
I do
we
my
do.
best
We
with
do.
these drafts, but all of you have great capability to improve whatever it is I write. So thank you, but I'm happy to do that,
Well, we're all lawyers
Thank
and
you.
we can't help ourselves.
as it should be.
That's true.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, Mr.
Thanks
Kroll.
for joining us, Mr. Crowell.
All right.
Good luck with your project.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
Kathleen? Well,
Yes.
one thing, it occurs to me, I don't think there were any attendees at the time that we closed the hearing,
Oh,
but
geez. Yeah.
I didn't think to ask whether
No.
whether there were. And
Usually Bill, yeah, I should have asked. Bill
I
usually
didn't
tells
see
me.
any.
Yep,
Yeah.
there were no attendees and no hands up. There was no
Yeah.
public comment.
I
Okay.
Sorry.
checked.
Good point. Thank you. So the next hearing we have is at 7:30 for Holmes Lane. It's not 7:30 yet, right? No.
It is not. We have
Right.
about 8 minutes.
Okay.
I'm going to go get a glass of water.
Yeah.
All right. Brief
Take a
recess.
break.
Okay.
Eat dinner.
I'd like to do that, but I'm going to have
That'll
to
be a
wait.
fast dinner.
Mhm. Well, welcome everyone to the public hearing on 44 Holmes Lane. And joining us on this panel this evening, that me and Chris Hart and Nick Gray will be sitting on the board for this hearing. We have in the file, actually, so the relief being sought by the Roaches is to get permission to increase the nonconformity of their building, which was built in the 1900s. And they have a denial letter from the building inspector dated November 11th. We have a letter from their attorney, Marion McEtrick, dated November 12th. We have a site plan dated October 14th, 2025. We have the plan of the proposed new garage and a connection to the existing house, dated October 14, 2025. A progress set of prints dated September 24 by Rockwood Design, Inc. A copy of the deed dated April 14, 2020. The property is registered land, and so we got a copy of the registered land plan from 1925. A thing that always appeals to the geek conveyancer in me to see that sort of information. So we have the assessor's map and the property card, and then there are letters from two neighbors in support of the application. And I understand the applicants are represented by Ms. McEtrick. Do you want to give us an introduction?
Yes, thank you. And I'm Marion McEtrick. I'm representing the applicants for this application. I've actually been in touch with these applicants a little less time than when the prior hearing that we discussed. But they have a proposal for a new addition. It's very important for a number of reasons. and well thought out and interesting. This property is on Holmes Lane. It's a private way. It goes up kind of a steep hill. Right next, the entrance is just before Winter Valley, and there are just a few homes on Holmes Lane.
Mhm.
This particular property backs onto Winter Valley. So there are really no immediate neighbors right to the back of their property. And they did get letters of support from the neighbors on either side of their house. And then across the street, there is a house, but it's I don't even know if it has an address on Holmes Lane. It's quite far away from their property. So the important neighbors, those that would be likely to be most impacted or see this addition, are the two that signed letters of support. So that's great. What they have done for us, which makes it a little easier to understand the application, is the existing conditions plan and then the proposal. So if you look at the existing conditions plan, you'll see there's the existing house, and then to the right of the house, there's a garage, which is located 6.2 feet from the front lot line and 5.2 feet from the side lot line. This is a pre-existing non-conforming house built in 1925. The lot is pre-existing non-conforming. So all of those existing conditions are legal as is. So, but what their applicants are proposing is, in a sense anyway, is they're moving their garage back. They're actually building a new one, but they're moving it a little bit further away from the front and a little bit further away from the side. They're going to attach the new garage to the house, and they're going to build a connector to the house. So they need zoning relief because this is now something that's going to be attached to the house. So the house now is going to be closer to the side lot line, closer to the front lot line than it is. So when the garage is separate, then the setback measurements for an accessory structure, either way, it would be non-conforming. But it's worth noting that the new location for the garage, while it is a two-story structure, is just a little bit further away from the street and from the side lot line. And the architecture, again, this is architecture designed by an architect, will be something that will look attractive. And we have a rather extensive architectural plans to show you what it looks like, what elevations will be, and what will be in each space. So one of the things the applicants have explained to me is that they've lived in this property, I think, for 9 years or more. It's for quite a while. Their children have gotten older. They have 3 children now. This is very typical of the applications that come before this board. They need more living space for their family. So in addition to having an attached garage now and sort of a front connector mudroom, which is much nicer when you have a lot of children, they will have a garage that's more conveniently accessed. They will also have a second floor in the garage attached to the house. And in that second floor, they're going to have a large, nice family room, a new bathroom, and some additional space that's sort of undesignated at this time that could be used for any number of purposes. They also need additional space because they have a family. I think it's Mrs. Roach is ill, is going to be treated for that illness, and they will be having family members visit and other people who will be helping them. So they really need the additional space. So that's another very sort of compelling reason why it's urgent to, I hope, support this application. It's well designed, it's well thought through, and it's fairly typical of other forms of relief that you've given. Given that this is on a private way off the main road, even though the garage part of the house will be fairly close to the street, it doesn't seem as though there's going to be a great deal of impact, and certainly the neighbors don't seem to have any objection to the design. We have, see, the neighbors that have signed support letters are at 36 and 56. So when you look at the plot plan, you'll see those are the neighbors on either side of the house. And you can easily see there that Winter Valley's in back. So that is a very quick summary of the application. I guess it would be best if you have questions, we'd be happy to answer them. The applicants are here and they can answer questions as well.
Gentlemen, questions?
I have
Nick or
none.
Chris? Um, I
This
will
time.
note that the property across the Holmes Lane is Canton Ave, which is a um, a 40B project approved by this board. So it's not surprising that you wouldn't hear anything from that abutter.
Yeah.
um, um, so I think they're still trying to work that out. But I looked at the plans. I really like the way you've incorporated the design in the house. And I really congratulate Rockwood for doing a great job on that. I did think it was interesting that you could have probably done that garage as an ADU, but I note that you don't have a kitchen or cooking area in that garage. So if we gave you a hard time, I suppose you could get around us by sticking in some cooking facilities on that second floor.
Well,
Um,
you would need a firewall between the house and the.
yeah.
If you're thinking of doing that, you should include a firewall in your construction design. This is something that I've encountered with a number of these ADUs that people are trying to do. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah, no, but I did think, as I said, I did note that it was ah.
Could be.
So I mean you have the support from the two neighbors. Obviously, nobody from behind is going to be particularly affected. And um as I said, I think it's a sensitive design that really works well with the house. So unless somebody has do we have anybody in the audience, Bill, attending?
I don't see any hands raised to make comment.
So the Roaches, did you want to add anything or you're all set?
Sorry, our 7-year-old just
Yeah.
got home from travel basketball practice. Let her in the front door.
Yeah.
No, I really agree with you. I think that the design was done very well by Rockwood. So kudos to them. And as Marianne mentioned, unfortunately, I did receive a diagnosis last year that has been challenging for our family. So it's hopefully something that will give us some additional space that we need.
Well, I'm sorry that that's a reason. May I have a vote to close the public hearing? A motion to close the public hearing?
I'll move.
All in
Seconded.
favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, gentlemen. As we have talked about before, there are some findings that we sort of need to address. I do as we have had before, we do have supporting letters from pretty much the only affected abutters. It's it's interesting because you're attaching it to the house, you then making the house larger, which but I'm in favor of granting the relief that's requested. How about you, gentlemen?
I am as well. I mean, am I right, Madam Chair, that is the standard that it can't, you'll have to remind me on the specific standard here, which is that it can't put the property in a worse condition than if it were not granted. You'll have to remind me of the.
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's not more detrimental to the
Not
neighborhood.
more detrimental to me.
Is sort of the word that is used on this. I mean, I think the difficulty that we have, and which I've discussed with our building commissioner, is that he takes a pretty strict view of the provisions in our zoning code.
Yeah.
And much stricter than previous holders of that position. And so even if it's we've had situations where even if it's inside the building envelope, because it's increasing the size of the available square footage, he's taken the view that that's something that requires a variance. we've chatted about that. I'm not so totally convinced of his position on this, but this
Yeah.
one, because of the fact that you are in fact moving, you're taking down the garage and you're moving it and attaching to the house. I mean, he really didn't have much choice, but to send it to us.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if I understand that standard correctly, I don't see an issue here under the standard. Frankly, as far as I can tell from what's been presented, this seems like a real improvement to the property, and I think it's probably much needed. So I have no hesitation voting in favor.
I
Nick?
agree with all that. Yeah, I'm look, I can't see anything in any way that this is detrimental to the public good in any way or to the neighborhood. It's, the house is tucked back there, next to what will be maybe the 40B project. I don't know. And between Winter Valley. Ironically, I think my grandfather was involved somehow with the development of Winter Valley, and now here I am, whatever, next door. So, no, I'm in favor. I think it's an improvement to the improvement to the neighborhood. I can't see any way that it substantially degrades the bylaw or interferes with the abutters in any way. And I am very grateful at the level of preparation and planning that you've obviously put into this, so that we, you've spent, I could probably quite a bit of money developing the plans, and that's super helpful for the board. It makes it easier for us to understand the project and therefore get to be able to comfortably grant the type of relief you're looking for. So I'm in favor of granting the relief.
So, may I have a motion for a vote?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor of granting the relief that's been requested by the applicants?
Aye.
All in favor? Aye, 3 is
Aye.
zip. Okay. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you
very
so
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And again, if you would like me to draft something for this, I'd be happy to do that.
Mary doesn't want me to volunteer because she's not going to see it for 2
Well,
months.
I
it's
assume
funny.
you'll be reviewing it with great care. So
She has been
Revising.
she served on this board before, for years before she left for the select board, as I discovered by researching this issue in
I
the
forgot
town
that.
reports. So,
that's a long
Thank
time.
you. We would be very grateful for your assistance. And
as
doing
with the
that.
roaches.
Yeah, as with the
Yes.
roaches. Absolutely.
I'll get it done quickly. Thank you very much.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Thank you for the positive vote.
Thank you. Congratulations and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, good luck
Thank
with
you so
everything.
much. Thank you very much.
Take care.
So now we have 15 more minutes. We have to wait, right? Is that what is
Um,
the next? Is the next hearing at 8 or is it 7:45? I didn't look.
It's an 8.
It's 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Well,
Well, now I'm going to get a soda since I can't get
Yeah.
a water.
I think soda. I was thinking ice cream, but that's probably not smart. It's cold out.
I'm getting a Fresca though, so it's 0 calories.
Okay.
Yeah, well, there you
Well, that's smart too.
I'll see you in a minute.
All right.
back. Thank you, everybody, for your patience and waiting. This is the application for 112 Dyer Avenue. Abdus Khan is the applicant. On the board this evening are me, and I'm joined this evening by Nick Gray and Chris Hart as our panel for this hearing. We have an application as a result of a denial letter from the building inspector dated November 13th, 2025. The property is a pre-existing non-conforming single-family dwelling, and there is a proposal to add an addition to the rear of the building, a rear deck to the building, a new concrete bulkhead, and a new two porches on the front of the building. And in the contents of the application, we have the denial letter, as I said. We have a zoning review form from the building department, a plot plan dated November 4th, 2025, and renovation addition plans. I really couldn't see who did those. But perhaps their attorney will give us those kinds of details. We do have plans showing the proposal. And I understand that the applicant's represented by Derek Small this evening. And so,
Yes.
Mr. Small, would you like to introduce your applicant and discuss the application?
Sure. So good evening, Madam Chair, members of the board. Attorney Derek Small. I have a business address of 51 Dobson Road in Braintree. With me tonight is Mr. Abdus Khan, who is the owner of the property. And tonight we're here seeking relief in the form of a special permit from section 275-4 of the zoning code. And our proposal is to erect a 15 by 25 rear addition, a new 8 by 18 rear deck, a new bulkhead, and as was stated, a first and second floor front porches. The building is a pre-existing non-conforming structure. The lot is also pre-existing non-conforming. We are increasing the size of the non-conformity, which is why we are here. And I think that the granting relief will not be injurious or detrimental to the neighborhood. Mr. Abdus Khan has a growing family, and as you see, and he needs the extra living space for that family. This proposal is part of a gut rehab of the entire building. We have received a demo permit from the Inspectional Services Department for that. And again, it's going to be a gut rehab of the entire building with the addition on the rear to increase the living space for the family. I can stop there and answer any questions that the board may have. And Mr. Abdus Khan is also available to answer any questions.
Well, most of the time we do get, we get correspondence from abutters, either for or against, or, maybe people have signed in. We'll ask that at some point in the game. But I note that this application didn't include anything, from abutters.
Yes, we do have 3 abutters, letters of support from abutters. And when I checked with, William earlier today, he said that they were given to you guys as part of the record.
Okay,
I
no.
did
All right,
forward those to
You
you.
did? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll resend if you'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen him, Madam Chair.
Okay. Yeah, I must have missed that later email.
I did see them. Now I remember them. Yep.
Okay, I'll look.
Yeah, we have letters of support from the direct abutters on the left and the right and in the rear.
Okay.
So 56 and the Holmes Lane and 36, I think. And yeah, I'm just trying to get the numbers so I can map it
And
out.
116 Dyer.
Yep. Oh wait, never mind. Maybe I'm looking at the wrong.
110
Never mind.
It's 110 Dyer, 116 Dyer.
I got the wrong case open.
Yeah.
Like, how stupid. Sorry. All right.
And,
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's no problem.
It
Okay,
happens.
great. Because that says that that's an important consideration for us, because one of the, as you know, one of the determinations we have to make is that it's not, substantially detrimental to the neighbors, and it's always nice to hear have the neighbors sign on to say it isn't. So
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
I got it.
Gentlemen,
Never mind.
Nick, did you have any questions?
No, I'm just saying I have the letters of support. Go ahead. I don't have any questions right now.
Okay. Chris, any questions?
No, well, I hate to say this as a question, but to be honest with you, just and I'll have to be candid. Partly it's because I'm still shouldn't be saying this. I'm still sort of learning how to read these plans. I don't have a good sense of the visual of what this is gonna look like if we were to approve this, and like how much bigger the structure is going to be. I only know because the lot seems it's pretty close to the other houses in the lot, and so it doesn't strike me like there's a ton of space to work with. And so it's just, I wouldn't call it a concern as much as it's hard for me to kind of visualize.
So with regards to the rear yard, in the terms of the rear yard setback, from the lot line in the rear, it's 35 feet. And to the rear deck, off of the proposed addition, it's it's 27 feet.
Yeah.
So there's there's pretty good room in the rear to still have green space and open space in the rear away from the rear properties. The properties on the left side, if you're facing the building, the smallest point, I think the shortest point is like 8 feet off of the side yard. And I think it's about 10 off of the side yard to the house on the right.
Yeah, I'm looking now. I'm helped by looking at X2 and A2
Yeah.
plans. Yeah. I see. Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
No,
I mean,
I don't have further questions at the moment.
yeah, it's still, I mean, it looks as if it's still 35 feet from the rear of the
Yeah.
proposed deck to the lot line. Am I right about
Yes.
that?
Yeah.
And you haven't gone any closer than the existing house, right? On the extension. I mean, it's still, you're still carrying that same setback on both the right and the left.
That's correct.
Yeah, it's like building on a deck. Is that right? Is it sort of like an existing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I see.
But it's not going any closer.
No,
Right.
not at
Got it.
all.
Got it.
Whereas the front, I mean, don't you have a porch there now on the front?
Yes. The porch, it's not really a porch. It's almost like it's very short. And so
Uh-huh.
what we're doing is we're extending the porch up to the second floor.
I see.
Then-
If I'm just trying to get the sense of it, it's like the front of the house isn't getting much closer at all to the street, is it?
Not at
It's-
all.
Yeah, okay, and so that's that. I get that, and the sides are pretty much staying the same
Staying the same.
as they
That's
are
correct.
now. So
Yeah.
that the bulk of the new work is all in the back. Well,
In the rear.
besides the porches in the front, the addition part of it is all in the back, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Okay. And if I'm looking at the plan, right, this isn't really relevant to anyone else. I just note that that the size of the kitchen from current to new looks like it's going to make it much more livable. Is that fair to say?
That is fair to say.
Because I'm having struggled with for years in another house, small. I feel your pain there. So I not that it matters because it's inside the house, but I like the fact that your family is getting some, in addition to the bedroom space, a better kitchen out of it. Yeah.
Bill, do we have anybody in the audience?
No one has raised their hand to speak.
Okay. Does anybody in the audience want to speak? Okay.
Nope.
Okay.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't have any questions. I just said I sort of note the fact that you've stayed with sort of stay within the existing nonconformities on both the front and the sides. So I think that's great. And as I said, you still have that 35 feet in the back, so that seems pretty great. And there's already a garage that's violating everything too.
Yeah.
So so I don't have any other questions. Did you have anything else you wanted to say, Mr. Small?
No, we're good.
Okay.
Just want to thank you guys for the time and hope you'll see favorably about our project.
So may I have a motion to close the hearing?
I'll move.
Good.
All in favor?
Aye.
All
All right. Discussion. As I said, I think, I think the problem is that because of the language that we have in this, in our bylaw, about, just sort of the fact that you can't even alter your existing building without coming to us. I can see why we have this application before us. I'm in favor of approving it. I don't think, um, as I said, it's still staying in the same non-conformity that we already have and not really increasing it there. Just adding the more in the back but there's still sufficient room back there. So I'd be in favor, gentlemen.
I agree with that. It's basically what I know the neighborhood pretty well, and it's
You almost have about a house there.
it's hard to, yeah, I did almost not too far away. And it's hard, as Chairman O'Donnell mentioned, it's hard to modify these houses in any meaningful way without coming to the board, and I appreciate that you've come up with a plan that increases the space but is still sensitive to the overall scope of the neighborhood, and for that reason I don't see anything that would jumps out at being, whatever the word is, not derogatory. Yeah, detrimental. Thank you. One of those D words. Detrimental to the neighborhood. So I'm in favor of approving the relief.
I subscribe to all of that.
Okay, gentlemen. So may I have a motion for a vote? All those in favor of approving?
I'll move.
Okay.
Second the move.
And those in favor of the granting this relief that's been requested by Mr. Khan?
Aye.
Aye. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
You get to get some more room. Probably not in time for
Exactly.
Christmas, but
I know. Thank you guys so much. Have a great evening.
Of course, you as well.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All
Take
right.
care.
Take care.
You too.
all right.
Who's writing this one?
I can do it. I probably got some model and I can take care of that. Because you gentlemen are working harder than I am.
Well, I don't know that that's true, but I'm grateful that if you would like to do that, you're not going to get any argument from me. And I doubt that Attorney Hart is going to press
Yeah,
you.
I mean, I'll just take the ones that Marion's drafted and then just change the address.
I'm happy to volunteer. It'll just you're just going to be knocking at my door, like, where is it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. I got some time. So.
All right. Thank you.
And so, Bill, any last words?
None from me. I'm
We'll move. We adjourn.
off.
I'll second.
All right.
If Bill's done.
Okay. All in favor of adjourning? I would like to thank you both for attending and for your participation in tonight's hearing, and wish you best for the holidays.
I'm gonna go listen to some William Byrd.
Yeah.
Happy
Yes.
holidays.
Now
Merry
we
Christmas.
know that. Congratulations.
All right. So vote to adjourn.
Oh.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye. Thank you very much.
All right.
Merry Christmas,
Thanks.
friends. Take
Have a
care.
Merry
good
Christmas.
night.
Take care. All right. Good night.
Well,
Bye-bye.
it is,
Bye-bye.